Why do some people achieve their dreams while others with more talent fail? The answer isn't about being the smartest or most talented. Millions start strong, working intensely, pushing hard, but within weeks, they quit. This is a story about a young man who discovered that small, daily actions create more impact than occasional big efforts. A truth that will change how you see success forever. Meet James. He was 26 years old, a marketing associate at a tech startup. James was talented and full of ideas. His boss said he had real potential, but James had a problem. He was addicted to intensity. New workout plan? He'd train 2 hours daily for a week. New project? He'd work until 2 a.m. for 3 nights. Learning guitar? He'd practice all weekend. Then he'd crash. The gym went unused. Projects slowed. The guitar collected dust. James lived in cycles: intense effort, then burnout, then guilt. His apartment showed it. Unopened books, unused equipment, half-finished courses, each represented enthusiasm that died. Colleagues noticed, James starts strong but doesn't finish. He felt ashamed and frustrated. He wanted to be reliable but didn't know how. Something had to change. The breaking point came at work. James volunteered to lead a major client campaign. He dove in with usual intensity. 14-hour days, skipped meals, barely slept. For 2 weeks, he was unstoppable. His team was impressed. The client loved the early work. Then James burned out completely. He couldn't open his laptop, missed deadlines, ignored emails. The project collapsed. The client left. The company lost the contract. His boss said, "You're talented, James, but we can't rely on you. You're a sprinter in a marathon world. We need people who show up every day." James was devastated. He was the problem. His intensity was his weakness. That's when James remembered Thomas, his grandfather's old friend. James's grandfather told stories about Thomas, a retired lighthouse keeper. "That man never missed a single day in 40 years, he'd say. James drove 3 hours to find him. Thomas, now 72, still volunteered at the old Lighthouse Museum daily, maintaining the grounds. "Mr. Thomas, I'm James, Robert's grandson. I start strong but never finish. I can't be consistent. Can you help me?" Thomas smiled gently. "Come with me tomorrow morning. I want to show you something." At 5 a.m., Thomas handed James a logbook. "For 30 days, do something small. Come here every morning. Walk up those 87 steps. Write 1 sentence about what you see. That's all." "That's it?" James felt disappointed. "Every single day, rain or shine, tired or energized. Can you do that?" James agreed. Week 1 was easy. James climbed, observed, wrote. The sun rises orange over calm waters. Fog covers everything. Week 2 was harder. The 4:30 a.m. alarm felt brutal. His legs ached. The task felt meaningless, but he showed up. By week 3, something shifted. He stopped thinking. He just did it. Wake, drive, climb, write, leave. It became automatic, part of his rhythm. On day 30, James wrote, 30 days, 30 sunrises. I showed up every time. Thomas waited at the bottom. "How was it?" "Honestly, it felt too easy. I thought you'd teach me something harder." "What did you notice?" "The ocean, weather patterns, light changes." "And in 30 days, how many times did you fail to show up?" 0 times. "Exactly." Thomas led James to a bench. "For 40 years, I kept this lighthouse running. People think it's about having the brightest light. It's not. It's about having a light that never goes out. Ships don't need brilliance one night and darkness the next. They need reliability. Your life is the same." Thomas shared 4 principles. First, small actions repeated daily create massive results. 1 climb is nothing. But 87 steps daily for 30 days? That's 2,610 steps, a mountain climbed without strain. Second, consistency doesn't require motivation. Motivation changes like weather. Commitment stays on like the lighthouse beam, regardless of conditions. Third, intensity fades, but habits remain. You can't sprint for months, but you can walk for years. The daily walker always outpaces the occasional sprinter. Fourth, show up when you don't feel like it. Those days build character. Anyone can show up when motivated. Only the committed show up when it's hard. The lighthouse never tries to be the sun. It just promises to be there when darkness comes. That promise, kept every night, has saved more lives than the brightest day. For the first time, James understood. His intensity was a firework, bright but brief. He needed to be the lighthouse beam, steady and always there. James returned home with a new approach. No grand plans, just small daily commitments. Write 30 minutes each morning, show up at the gym for 20 minutes, practice guitar for 15 minutes, every day.
At first, it felt too easy. He wanted to do more. But he remembered, consistency doesn't require motivation. After a few weeks, the actions became automatic. He didn't debate going to the gym, he just went. 2 months later, colleagues noticed, "James, you're so consistent now. You're different." His boss assigned him a new project. "I know I can count on you." 6 months later, the company's biggest client wanted a year-long campaign. The boss asked James to lead it. The old James would have panicked and worked 80-hour weeks, then crashed. The new James broke it into small daily tasks. 30 minutes of strategy each morning, 1 client email per day, 1 team check-in weekly. No heroics, just steady progress, day after day. When the campaign launched, it became the most successful in company history. James was promoted. But what mattered most, he'd showed up every single day for 6 months without missing once. For the first time, he'd been reliable. This wasn't luck or talent, James realized. It was consistency. It was showing up. It was being the lighthouse, not the firework. James never chased intensity again. He built small daily habits. He showed up regardless of motivation. He became someone people could count on, someone who finished what he started. Years later, people asked about his success. James told them about Thomas. Consistency beats intensity every time. Small daily actions are more powerful than occasional massive efforts. Be the lighthouse, not the firework. If you start strong but never finish, remember James's story. You don't need to be brilliant occasionally. You need to be reliable constantly. Show up when you don't feel like it. Those are the days that count most. Start small. Choose one tiny action. Commit to it daily for 30 days. Make it sustainable, not intense. Because the lighthouse doesn't try to be the sun. It just promises to be there when darkness comes. And that promise changes everything. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Stay consistent. Keep moving forward, one day at a time.